Thank you. I welcome the CFTC's Technology Advisory Committee. Technology can be transformative for people and markets if designed and deployed responsibly. And debate on issues of emerging technology is enhanced by the Commission's engagement with a broad and diverse group of technology experts who serve on the TAC. As the TAC sponsor, I'm grateful for your service and for the leadership of TAC Chair Carol House, Vice Chair Ari Redbord, and chairs of the TAC subcommittees. I also want to thank Tony Biagioli, Drew Rogers, Lauren Bennett, Scott Lee, Yevgeny Shrego, Zach Copeland, and others at the CFTC. In every meeting, TAC has examined responsible artificial intelligence. AI has long been used in financial services and markets, and the latest buzz is over generative AI, which could be a consequential tool to aid humans in breakthroughs in areas of big problems like healthcare and climate change and cybersecurity and fraud detection, just to name a few. The potential impact of generative AI on financial markets cannot be fully known, but that does not mean that regulators cannot start to consider guardrails to ensure that AI innovation is responsible. As a foundational matter, regulators should consider how best to establish accountability on the humans and organizations designing and deploying AI in markets. Governance requirements on those making decisions to deploy AI in financial markets are important to consider and can protect against someone blindly deploying a tool or model with an outcome that causes harm. Accountability requires transparency, not a black box. Transparency in the design and initial deployment of AI systems or AI models is critical, as is the case after the AI system or model is deployed. It's important for humans to be able to detect possible negative outcomes in deployed AI models or systems before they cause harm. Given the unique complexity of AI, it is important for regulators to consider implementing best practice standards. NIST leads with its AI risk management framework, a framework that allows for innovation that is responsible and is designed to ensure the trustworthiness of AI. I would ask TAC Subcommittee on Emerging and Evolving Technology to consider as part of its ongoing work whether to recommend that the CFTC impose best practice standards for AI, such as NIST's risk management framework for regulated entities. TAC will continue to coordinate with the Biden administration in examining responsible AI. We are honored today to welcome Elizabeth Kelly, Special Assistant to the President for Economic Policy in the White House, to speak about the executive order on AI. President Biden is setting the U.S. on a path to lead the world in fostering the promises of AI while protecting against potential perils, and with the EO's focus on the safety, security, and trustworthiness of AI. We will also hear today from Professor Michael Wellman, Chair of the Computer Science and Engineering at the University of Michigan, who earned his PhD in artificial intelligence from MIT in 1988 and has spent his career as an AI researcher. Professor Wellman testified before the Senate on the potential use of AI for market manipulation, even if not intended, and what he calls the AI loophole, which is potential gaps in regulations that are focused on humans having intent. Those who place AI into regulated financial services have responsibilities to follow existing laws. If there are gaps in our laws, it is appropriate to consider ways to close those gaps. Senators Mark Warner and John Kennedy recently introduced a bipartisan bill that would amend the SEC's regulatory authority by ensuring accountability, addressing intent, and providing for treble damages. The CFTC might need comparable authority, and I would urge the Subcommittee on Emerging and Evolving Technology to take up this issue as part of their ongoing work. Turning to cyber resilience, I'm very pleased that the Commission proposed its first rule for banks and brokers on cyber resilience, the development of which I had the privilege of leading over the last year. The federal government must also promote its own cyber resilience, and today we welcome Mitch Herkus, Director for Federal Cybersecurity, Office of the Federal CIO, White House. His work focuses on a zero trust paradigm, which is no easy feat, but is necessary for cyber resilience. I look forward to hearing about his work, which is something that TAC's Subcommittee on Cybersecurity can consider as part of its work. And last but certainly not least, Carol House and Dan Aury, co-chairs of the Subcommittee on Digital Assets and Blockchain Technology, will present the subcommittee's draft report on decentralized finance. From the time that I have arrived at the CFTC, I've talked about the importance of promoting innovation that is responsible and studying emerging issues around digital assets to prevent harmful unintended consequences, particularly to retail customers, market integrity, and financial stability. And this report is the result of one such study. DeFi is more than $50 billion in total locked value. That's a lot of customer assets. I'm grateful for Carol's and Dan's leadership and for the subcommittee members' work to study the promises of DeFi while being realistic about what it is today, as well as the risks. The subcommittee sought to present a balanced and straightforward examination of DeFi. The composition of the subcommittee with its broad and diverse views helps bring that balance. I hope this report will be used by policymakers and regulators as they consider DeFi going forward, and also by the industry itself. I'm grateful for the hard work that the subcommittee made to develop findings and recommendations. Given that DeFi remains at the center of cyber attacks and illicit finance, I am particularly grateful for the recommended action related to anti-money laundering and countering the financing of terrorism. Today, TAC members will vote on releasing the report. I really appreciate each of our speakers and the TAC members' willingness to share your technology expertise and viewpoints. As always, I encourage a broad discussion and a diversity of views today and going forward. Thank you.